Hello, YouTube. Jim Baker here. I have a great video today of Antonio, a guy from Spain who lives in UAE, and he is investing. He's a fund manager, basically, for a small fund of family and friends, maybe a couple million or something. And he has questions about estate taxes and the benefits of an LLC. And I think if you are a trader and you are investing in the US market, this is a great video for you because we're going to go over how you should structure your business, how it works operationally, and the different taxes and things you need to keep an eye out for. So let's get to the video, okay?
Haven't done my taxes, I'm too turned up. Haven't done my taxes, I'm too
So yeah, Antonio, you're from UAE. Thanks for calling in today. As you know about the calls, normally you can just tell me a little bit about what you're doing, give me a little overview, and then we can get into your questions.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm Antonio. I'm from Spain. I live and work in the UAE. Okay. And for a number of years now, I've been investing in the stock market, especially in the US, New York Stock Exchange, and doing quite successfully, let's say.
Good for you.
And then I've been for a couple of years already. Some friends and family already had been, searching for my advice, and so little by little this is creeping up. And then I thought about, opening a small investment advisor firm, that like a boutique one that with time hopefully I can grow up. I came to know that, for example, in the US, you have several exceptions before you get registered as a registered investment advisor.
Yeah.
And one of them is like, they call it small investment advisor, also called friends and family advisor, by which if you have less than 25 million asset under management or under advice, let's call it, and less than 15 US clients, you don't need to, in principle, you don't need to register with the SEC, the
SEC. Yeah, Securities Exchange Commission. And yeah, I now remember your situation. I have a CFA in my office, and I asked him a little bit about it, and he said that what you're doing is fine. From the big level where I'll just restate it. You're just managing money for some friends and family. It's less than 15 people and less than 25 million. And that's what's going on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And you're doing it in U.S. brokerage accounts?
Exactly. I'm doing it with when I'm a major brokerage house.
Which brokerage are you using?
Interactive Brokers.
Oh, Interactive Brokers. Okay, I have an account with them. Yeah, I've heard they're really good. They're the best. So yeah, I guess. And I remember now that you came to me because you saw my video about the estate taxes, right?
Exactly.
And that's actually good you came to me, because you are, from the base understanding of the law, if you were to die, just keeping it real, if you were to die, then you wouldn't be, like, your assets would be subject to estate taxes. And it's a long process, and your beneficiary can't get them out until they show that the estate taxes have been paid. And we have to file the returns, pay the taxes, and wait like a year, and you're going to end up paying 40% on your on all the money in the account. So it's obviously a huge risk that you have carrying, especially when you have managing other people's money.
Yeah, I agree, absolutely. So it is a risk that we will take care of it later on. I mean, at the same time. So if you want, we can go, dive in the idea that I had, just to.
Sure.
The main reason of my call today is to understand how to organize or incorporate this small investment advisor, because currently I'm not really charging fees to my friends, and I really want to start charging performance fees.
Yeah, you should. You're just working for free. Hey, let me send you some money too. You can manage my money for free.
Exactly. So that's the thing. So I've been trying here in the UAE to open an investment advisor. They don't have like different tiers or levels. You just have to be, you're a big investment advisor with like 2 million dirhams, like more than $500,000 deposit to start with, and like a big overheads for which in the long term, if I become big, it's not a problem, but for such a small advisory, I'm currently advising in less than $3 million.
Well,
It's just advising. So
there's different ways you can set it up. You know, you can structure it as like a monthly fee or as a monthly fee based on the amount of money being managed, or you can do it based on performance as well. You can do it however you want. And
yeah.
obviously, I think you've looked into some platforms which kind of do a lot of the calculations for you. Is I guess what you're talking about, right?
Indeed, exactly. This broker firm that we talk about, investment interactive brokers, they allow you to manage, because you are not the custodian, you're just a manager of your client's money. You
Mm-hmm.
kind of send them or even execute from them the buy sell orders, always with their permission, and they can even pay you fees through the platform. You don't have to go through bank accounts if you don't want to. But in any case, both options are open.
Okay.
My main concern was at the beginning, and that's why I came watching many videos, and then I watched your very, very great video collection that you have your channel in YouTube.
Thanks.
Yeah, very, very good. I came to see that if you are non-US and non-resident in the US, an LLC in the US kind of help a lot, or is a very, let's call it, light and simple legal structure to structure the business. So because I check different financial international business corporations in different offshores jurisdictions, and it really gets very complicated somehow if you want to do it fully legally. I don't want to do things like great things.
Well, the thing is that you already know the biggest benefit is that you can trade in the U.S. without paying taxes on capital gains. So that's already the biggest benefit. So,
exactly.
So there's easy ways to do it to avoid the estate tax, which is the only exposure you have, which is a huge exposure. Obviously, if you pass away, then it's not your problem anymore, right? But you don't want to screw over your family. So, so obviously that's something we can fix really easy. And I'm just going to tell you what I recommend you do. That's really the easiest way to do it is have a partnership. Partnerships don't pay estate taxes either. Partnership state tax law has never been challenged, and it's a really funny area. But basically, as long as you have more than one member of the LLC, the partnership doesn't ever die either. And what happens is you can invest like a U.S. person, and then the partnership won't have any withholding taxes because, and it took me a long time to research and figure out, but the partnership won't have any withholding taxes because it's the category of income that it's receiving isn't subject to withholding for non-resident individuals. So we can report the income to you and everything, but there won't be any withholdings, and you just operate out of a partnership, and you won't have estate taxes either because the partnership will never, it can't die or whatever. So that's probably even easier than using a foreign corp owning a U.S. LLC. Because it's really just an LLC with multiple members, and we can set that up for you and help you with that whole process. And then in terms of your management fees, I would set up just a separate LLC and just send money to your other LLC and your other bank account so that you can accumulate some other money there. I don't know. That's an easy way to do it.
Yeah, sounds good. My main concern on regulation is like even with a partnership, as a non-US resident, I wouldn't have. It's a pass-through, isn't it? Entity. It's like a pass-through, so I pay taxes wherever I live. If I live in Spain, I pay taxes there. If I live in a country with a territorial taxation system, as the money is not earned in that country, I wouldn't have to pay taxes, or would I?
So if you talk to the government, they're probably always going to want taxes. The thing is, you're living in the country, working, you're doing all your trading from in the country, so they probably want taxes. Can you get away without paying taxes in a very low risk? Probably. For many countries, you can. So it's like UAE, I don't know how the tax system works there. I know in Spain, for example, you should pick up the income in Spain because I do have clients in Spain. I have clients in UAE as well, but we do it. I don't think they pay taxes there. I don't really think either they...
Yeah. Exactly. You don't have income taxes here. You have recently VAT, 5% VAT, I think for last year and a half. Plus, so I wouldn't, if I do the LLC, would I have to pay VAT here? Because the invoices would be raised in the US, not here,
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. That's why the LLC and the U.S. company is so amazing, because you don't pay taxes here and there's no transaction there, so there's no VAT there. So you are able, unlike me, you're able to operate and make as much money as you want with like very little tax expense. All you have is small legal expenses and paying people like me to make sure it's all up and on the up and up. But that's like such an insignificant expense compared to a tax expense. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
if you make $20,000 a year, then you're already, you're paying like $2,000 in taxes if it's 10% place. But if you're not paying taxes anywhere, you're saving, you know, hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of dollars over years of not paying taxes. And then you
Exactly.
know, even more than most people, the value of having extra money to invest.
Yeah, exactly. And but my other concern is that okay, we organize, as they call it, organize an LLC or two, as you said, for the to avoid the state taxes, and then the my second concern is the response, like the regulatory frame, like the responsibility I have. Would let me put it, the liability, would it be kind of kept in the US in the LLC, or would I be liable in the UAE?
The
Uh,
legal liability,
because, yeah, the legal liability. Can the UAE say, no, you are doing your operations from here, not from the US?
the UAE
Or
can
they can
always
say
say
you have
that
to be
if
an
they want.
advisor here.
Yeah, I mean, the UAE can always say that. I mean, I don't know how, again, like, I don't know how some of this stuff is enforced. The internet is, it's still new, it's still a tricky thing how everyone manages it. But the whole point of the LLC is limited liability. So, whatever you have in one, if you have two LLCs, and the best example is with real estate. So if you have a real estate and someone falls down the stairs and they want to sue you, they can only take what's in that LLC that owns the real estate. So if you have five LLCs and each one has a house, they can't sue you and take your other house or make you liquidate it, right? However, if you have five houses in one LLC, they can sue you and make you sell all your houses and take all your money if it's your fault or whatever. And you don't even want to get involved in that. So that's why you use multiple LLCs. And that's ultimately the main purpose of the LLC, is to limit legal liability. It's a
Security
limited
risk.
liability company. That's the
Yeah.
the biggest purpose of it that most people don't even talk about, but that's really the purpose.
That makes sense. Just one question of the topic or outside the LLC topic. Would for example, in this case, like opening an offshore corporation, an IBC, maybe Navies, maybe in
Nevis is good. Nevis is the
Seychelles,
cheapest one. Yeah.
cheapest. How does it compare with an LLC in terms of annual cost and banking, cost of banking? Because that's my main concern when I was researching about offshores.
Well, the offshores, you're not going to use the bank account, to be honest with you. Most people use it as a corporate blocker. For you, it doesn't seem necessary. And honestly, you need the LLC anyways, because you're going to be doing everything in the U.S. transaction with the LLC. The corporate blocker is just an additional expense that you would use in certain Latin American countries. If they want to not pick up the income in their country, they'll use a corporate blocker and take that position that the income is being picked up by the corporation. So that's the main reason for the corporations. I mean, obviously limiting estate taxes and for investments in real estate and things like that, there's other reasons. But for you, it's unnecessary. It's just an additional cost because you need the LLCs anyways, and it's basically the same cost. For me, we charge basically the same if you have a single or multi-member LLC for like what we do. So I don't think you need a foreign corp, and I think it's just an additional cost. If you want it, you can get it. Sure, it's not, and then it's gonna be like $1,000 to $1,500 maybe $1,000 to $2,000 a year to maintain a foreign corporation. At least in Nevis, I know it's more in like the Cayman Islands.
Okay. Sounds good. Last question on taxation, and then I have two questions more on the
Sure.
states we can start the LLC. We talk about the taxation for capital gains, of course. Being a non-resident in the US, a non-US citizen, I wouldn't have to pay taxes for capital gains on those buy shells. We confirm that. Only, I guess, the 30% of withholding on the dividends, that's still there, I believe.
Exactly. I don't know if I went over it in that video or I made a recent one about why capital gains are exempt from withholding in the code section. I think in code section 1446. I don't know if that's the right one, but yeah, I mean, capital gains from trading just aren't subject to withholding taxes. It's really awesome. I don't know why it's the rule, but it is. And dividends, meanwhile, are U.S. source income and
Yeah.
subject to withholding. And from UAE, I don't think there's a treaty. There might be. Um, I mean, we could look it up, but most day traders, like, are you a day trader, or are you doing like kind of longer investing?
No, like longer investment, swing trading, swing mid long term investment
Okay,
from
so like
3 months to
options and
a year.
like semi-complicated stuff. Yeah, day trading is a nasty thing. It's people lose a lot of money, people make a lot of money, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, dividends are subject to withholding, capital gains aren't.
Yeah. And then what about myself as an advisor? I would be charging, as we said, performance fees to my
Sure.
clients.
Yeah.
Those fees would be taxable in the US or would not be? Would that be the
No,
same case?
it's just like those are service fees. They're not U.S. source income. It's all source income to UAE, and that's why I said you can use a separate LLC to like kind of like pull it out of the account if you unless you have like your own investment account, you want to just move it to that account and you keep track of it that way. You can do that as well. It depends how you want to operate it, because if you want a separate entity for one entity for like investing and one entity for like consulting,
Yeah,
that's how you can set it up. Because again, once you have the LLCs, they're pretty easy to operate.
that makes sense to me. It's a good way to segregate
Yeah,
risks.
it's
Okay,
it's
that's all good.
simple, it's clean, and then you also have options in the future if you want to do different things. You can use that other LLC for whatever you want. Like, what if you want to start like everyone else? Want to start drop shipping one day? Just start with that LLC. You already have it.
Mhm. Perfect. A question about different states. What would be the kind of the easiest, the lightest, the cheapest, lightest in terms of annual filing of taxes or different reports? I was thinking about, I've heard a great deal about New Mexico, Wyoming, Florida, and Delaware. What is your take on each of them? For this
They're
kind of
all about the
operation.
same. Honestly, they're all about the same cost. You're managing a couple $1 million. Like, are you gonna save $50 here, $50 there? I mean, I think Delaware is the best because of the privacy and the flexibility in the future. So we use Delaware for almost all the time. We have some in Wyoming. Wyoming's better for trusts and for I don't know, like when you have certain like real estate holding companies, certain situations, but almost always we use Delaware.
Uh-huh. What about
And
last one?
yeah,
Nevada.
it's basically the
I've
same
heard,
price. What?
yeah. Nevada. What about Nevada? I've heard that it was like has a lot of privilege, but I'm not sure if that is overrated.
I mean, people always ask the questions. It's all the same. Honestly, you could open a Georgia LLC. You're gonna still not pay taxes. You still have to renew it every year, and that's it. Like there's nothing. It doesn't matter. Only when you have like real estate, you open the LLC in that state. Otherwise, it really doesn't matter, and there's no right or wrong answer. Like I said, we just use Delaware because it's more flexible, where you can change your company, do series companies, and it's a little bit more private as well. So that's why we always use Delaware, and it might be a little more than Wyoming in the first year, but maybe it's Wyoming's more to renew. I don't know. I don't get caught up in the fees as much, just because yeah, like I said, they're all about the same.
Yeah, they are not expensive, to be honest. Opening an SL or any other corporation in Europe, for example, is a lot more expensive than organizing or incorporating an LLC, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Just one or two questions more. Yeah, on taxes. You said about that being non-resident in the US, I wouldn't have to pay taxes there. Is it the same filing for the federal taxation system? Yes, I think it is. And if there is anyone in whatever the state I incorporate my LLC, is it the same kind of submission or is it's different?
With the LLC, you just have to renew it. Maybe some states have filing requirements. Generally, like tax return filing. Nevada, Wyoming, New Mexico, Delaware, Florida. None of these have like filings you have to do. Maybe other states do. I like California does. So like I almost never recommend California. It's the worst. So a New York, you can't open a New York LLC. You have to do publication stuff. But other than like the ones you mentioned, you just have to pay every year to renew them, pay to renew your registered agent, and then you have to do your federal tax filings, whatever it is. And we always recommend you do your tax filings every year and on time to not only stay compliant because it's required, but also to make affirmative like statements of what you're doing. So you're telling the IRS what you're doing and why, so that they can challenge you if they want, instead of if you don't do anything, then they basically win if they challenge you.
Great. Okay, just the last one, and I think it's very important about costs with you. Annual, what would be approximately the cost of incorporating, organizing one LLC? If we do two LLC, as you recommended, to waive that issue with the state taxes in case of dying or something. If there's different prices, and also filing taxes if you do it on my behalf, and how much would that be?
Sure, we do the filing of taxes, and I'm going to start there because that's due for everyone who had an LLC in 2019. The Form 5472 is due on July 15th this year. Usually it's April 15th. And the partnership returns are due March 15th, and that was already due March 15th. So we do those generally for $12.50, and then I also have a course on how to complete the 5472, which is cheaper and includes our review. So that's I think I just started at $347 or something. I just picked a number I thought was good, and because we review it too. So that's the annual filing. The general package, like the flat package for the LLC opening, includes a lot of stuff. It's not just opening the LLC, because it's cheap to just open an LLC. We open the LLC, we get the EIN number, we get an ITIN number for you, we let you use our address for mailing, we do the registered agent for you. It includes another call to set up all of the any payment processors, any accounts, any kind of registrations you need to do. We help you with that. I share my number with you, so you can ask me if you have any questions ongoing, and we generally just help you solve any problems to get anything done that you need done. So that's like a kind of like a satisfaction kind of guarantee thing that we do. And everyone that's done it has liked it, and we do that for a flat fee of $2,500. And if you want to do a second LLC, for you, it depends really what we need. For a lot, sometimes we do it for like $2,000 for each one or something like that. But we can, if you want to move forward, we'll figure out what we can do for the second one. Maybe we can just do it, give you a big discount on the second one, since I don't think you're going to need a ton of support on the second one right away. But if you like the packages, if you have any questions, you can ask me if you want to do something else. So that's like the biggest value in it. So $2,500.
That sounds great. Okay, very good. I think I don't have any more.
And I speak Spanish too, if you because I know you're from Spain, so we can always talk
I saw it. Yeah, quite well actually.
It's getting better. It's getting better every day.
Very good. Okay, Jim, I think I have all is clear for me. I'll contact you later on.
Great, I'm glad to help. Yeah, we do all the legal documents as well. It's really everything. So, yeah, I hope to hear from you. And thanks for the call. I'm glad. I didn't realize how popular this investing stuff is. I'm gonna have to make more videos about this, because it seems like there's a lot of non-residents taking advantage of our tax-free market here.
I think so. Yeah. Very good.
Okay, Antonio. Thank you. We'll be in touch, sir. Thank you.
Cheers, bye.
Okay, so that video was really great. We got to go over everything. I hope you found it useful. I hope you found it helpful, because these are some really good information, to be honest with you. This is stuff that people usually pay me for, but I'm just giving it out now. Happy to help. So if you want to work with me, definitely email us. If you have any questions, you can comment. If you want to talk to me, you can schedule a call in the description below. And please help me out. Give me that thumbs up down below so I can keep getting more followers, subscribers to the channel, and share this information with more people that might need it. Okay, so thank you for the subscribe, for the thumbs up, the notification bell, and for watching. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.